Hey everyone, it's Nathas and Scubatoad, and today we are going to be doing the reveal for the Grey Viking Games event. So first of all, Scubatoad, how you doing?
Great, excited.
Yeah, so I guess do you want to talk through the agenda of how the event's going to go today, or how the stream's going to go?
Okay, so the plan is we're going to do the randomization for the additional 2 players who will join the sixth and make it 8. And then from there, we will randomize the draft order so people can get an idea of if they're going to be super separated in their draft picks or clumped together. And then from there, we'll go into the 40 kits live stream opening. And then I think that's all we got.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be fun. Yeah. So first of all, do we want to kind of highlight the first 6 people who have made the event?
Oh, yeah, I don't have a graphic for that, Sam.
Oh, no worries. So what I can do you want me to just read out the list? Because I can
Yeah,
bring that up real
yeah,
quick.
do it.
All right, cool. Sorry. So I'm just going to bring that up on my screen right now. All right. So first of all, congratulations to Billy Badaim, Hellkite, Nathas, Purple Christie, the Puffin Man, and Billy Bob Joe Theodore III. Those are the 6 teams that have made the event so far. And then everybody else who's participated, thank you so much for joining over the last couple weeks. It's been a really fun series of events. I think that everyone who's joined has given very positive feedback of just the events themselves. So I think it was just a really good circuit. There was a lot of fun. There was a lot of competitive decks, but there was also just a lot of just great camaraderie while we were playing. So thank you all for joining this circuit, and we're definitely really excited for this draft event. So yeah, I'll pass it off to you now if you want to kind of go into the how you're exactly going to do the randomization.
Okay, so what we're trying to do here is, if you can see the screen, they can see the screen, Sam?
Yes, yeah, they can.
Okay, so I've copy pasted everybody that played in an event that did not actually make the top 6. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to hit the randomize button, and that's going to take us to like a randomized list page. And that's not going to be the final. We're going to then, from there, hit the randomize button 5 times. It's going to number them like 1 to 15, I think is what it was. And then from there, we will take, on the 5th randomization, we'll take the top 2. And those 2 will copy over, and then we'll do the same thing to randomize the draft order. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds great. And then do you mind just going and scrolling down? I just want to validate that everyone's
Oh,
on here. So I've got everyone through Nate so far. You got that. Good, 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 good. Perfect. All right, I got everyone on here. So you got it good.
all right. So I'm going to hit randomize. This is not going to be the final randomization. This is just going to take us to the randomization page. So we're going to hit randomize. This is not the final. Okay, so this is what it'll look like when we hit randomize. We're going to hit this again button 5 times, and we're going to take the top 2 people to join. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, any questions from the crowd, concerns? We're good?
Nobody's said anything yet, so we'll find out.
Okay, here we go. So 5 times. Count with me here. So 1. All right. 2, 3, 4, and the final.
All right. Awesome. So it looks like I don't know if you want to officially announce the 2.
All right, so it looks like we got Carl Bolden and Cameron Leffler.
Leffler or Lafleur. I've been saying it both ways. So
Which I think Cade was in too. So it looks like they're, I don't know if that's a brother batch or father son, but I think we got a couple actually family members competing in the draft. It looks like.
yeah.
And Alex just missed out. He came in and won that last event and just missed it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the Puffin Man wins, which is Cade just said brother power in the chat. So definitely brothers.
All right, good. Brother power. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and we're going to just take the final 8 that are actually in the draft. And then we're going to do the same exact process and get the draft order. Sound good?
That sounds great.
All right. Oh, all right. Let's try this. Oops, that didn't work either. All right, there we go. I got to pull back up the final on this screen. So we have the top 6. Rusty, I'm not sure if that's Steven or Stefan. Sam, Christy, Cade, Brendan, and then I'm going to bring in Carl, who was actually 7th anyway, so that works out. I think because he came to 3 events, and then Cameron, who was actually 12th, came to 2 events. Going to put him in here as well. So it should be the final 8 in the draft. Rusty, Steven, Sam, Christy, Cade, Brendan, Carl, Cameron. Look good?
That looks good.
All right, so again, we're going to randomize it. It'll take us to the final screen, and then we'll randomize it 5 times from there to get the final draft order.
All right, perfect.
All right. So here we go. 5 times again. 1, 2, wait, okay, 3, 4, 5. It says 6 because the first one counted. I didn't realize that. But all right. Okay, so here we go. Here's the draft order. Steven, Sam, Cade, Carl, Christy, Brendan, Cameron, and Rusty. I actually know what you were rooting for, Sam. Were you rooting for first or last there?
I don't know. It's interesting because it's like I like being in the middle when I do like fantasy drafts and stuff like that. So I feel like the 4 and 5 slot tend to be good, but I think in an event like this, probably the 8
Where the
slot.
pairing, the 2-deck pairing is really important, right?
Yeah, I think 7 and 8 are probably the best 2, probably.
Okay.
Um,
That being said, the first 2 get to actually nab the coolest of the cool decks if that's all they're out for, right?
that is true.
It kind of depends what you're going for. If you're just going for fun and to grab something cool, then you probably want 1 or 2. If you're going to like get a really competitive pairing, you probably want 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Because first is they get a pick on first, and then they get the 16th pick. So not a lot of like, there's not a lot you can go for. Plus, people can kind of hate draft you a little bit too, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so this will be cool.
All right. So, all right, let me figure this out then. So now I can stop sharing, right?
Yep. Now you can just go right to the camera.
Stop streaming. Camera should still be up. So you got this?
Yeah, let me just get back in and make it full screen. All right, perfect.
Okay. So now we will run through the 40 decks. So if you can't see, we've got 5 kits of White Fang Pass. And we have 5 sealed kits of, it's actually alpha set, or it's Kickstarter set, set 1. Actually was just outside trying to grab alpha, but I actually didn't have here on site with me. I only had 4 kits. So we're going with Kickstarter here.
All right, awesome.
And if we open a Kickstarter minion, I'll just add it somewhere to the price support, okay?
All right, good stuff.
Okay. Sam, any preference of which side we start with?
Ooh, that's tough. I would say, maybe alternate. Maybe do like start with set 1, then 2, then 1, then 2. That way, it's kind of like a little bit of a variety.
Okay, and so the attempt here will be to flip through. Well, you tell me what you want, what the people want, Sam. Either we can go through this super fast, or we can flip through the cards if people want to take the time.
Yeah, so I guess maybe this is a good opportunity to mention the collection manager and kind of how we're going to be doing this. That way, people could follow along as well. So, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let me get that going. Actually, so I just made a new account on the SolForge site. It's called GVG Circuit. Sam, I don't know if you can put that in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
So as I open a deck, I will try to remember to scan it in. And so anybody who's following on Collection Manager can open it up, or anybody who watches this after the fact can just pull up GVG Circuit and should see all 40 decks in there. A reminder, we're actually only drafting 32 of them. So the bottom of the barrel will remain unclaimed, and the top 32 are going to be the ones drafted. So the attempt there was to make this a bit more hyper competitive. I did this draft with a local group, and drafting the very end was a little bit unappealing. So the attempt here was to add a few more decks in to make it so that every pick mattered.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea too, because then you're not going to be just stuck with the deck that nobody wants. You know what I mean? So it gives a lot of opportunity for variety, and like it's also like, I guess technically, not to say there's going to be 8 Alolan decks at the end, but it gives the opportunity where like you're not going to have to necessarily pull into a faction that you don't want to be playing. So,
okay,
awesome. All right, perfect. So I have the name of the circuit in the chat. So anybody who jumps in, like Scubatoad said, feel free to follow along and see as they're scanned in. But yeah, let's
All
get
right.
going.
Sorry. Okay, we'll start with Kickstarter. We'll start with the traditional alpha. All right, so I'm going to attempt to do this on camera. I do not do this often, so forgive me if I pull off camera. But the attempt is to hopefully let you guys watch me actually crack all these live. Got a garbage bin down here. All right, so here we go. Shrink wrap is off. All right, 4 decks out. Sam, you gonna let me know if if I'm doing anything wrong?
No, everything's great so far, and lighting's good too.
And I just bumped the camera. That's not great. Okay, so here we go. I'll start with the Aloyan. I usually just try to. I don't know if you guys are annoyed by this, but I've opened so many decks, and there's no pull tab on them, and they're often quite challenging to open with just your fingers.
Oh, I agree. It's a nightmare trying to open the decks without pull tabs. I hope that Stoneblade thinks about that and does that for set 3.
Okay, how's this coming across for you? Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, it looks great.
All right. So you want me to flip through just the gold cards? Is that the recommended?
Yeah, that's
all right,
good.
We'll
just
start with that, and then if people want us to speed it up, you let me know on the speed of things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Energy Prison, Epoch Hawk, Epoch Soldier, Force Field, Recycling Warden, Stabilizing Sentry, Synapse Tinker. Ooh, I like
that's
that
a nice one. Yeah.
Taunting Scavenger, Voltaic Prophet, Warmonger Mod. All
Awesome.
right. All right, so I'm going to attempt to pull this off now. So you can see the name was Formulae's Outfit. I'm going to pull this off. Oh, no Kickstarter minion. Sorry. Pull it off. I'm going to scan it in real quick. And then I'll... Do they want to see the deck list? Does it matter?
If anything, I would just show the Forgeborn of the... You don't necessarily have to show the deck list, but...
The Forgeborn. So I missed the Forgeborn. All right, so I'll show the Forgeborn before I scan it in.
Yeah, but for this one, I'll just scan it, and then we can show the Forgeborn after.
All right. So it's scanned in. We got an Ironbeard.
Ooh, just go a little lower.
Whoops.
Oh, you're good. Perfect.
Here we go. Can
awesome.
Can you read those abilities? Okay, good. All right. So let's see. I'll be organized. I'm going to set this back here. All right, here we go. The Necrium deck.
I feel like in set 1, this is the one that everyone's going to be looking forward to each booster.
All right.
Just a little lower, if you don't mind.
A little lower. Good,
perfect.
Good. Keep me on there. Camouflaged Apparition, Combat Fiend, Devouring Amoeba, Grimgaunt Predator, Necrotic Patron, Scourge Hydra, Shambling Slime.
Nice.
Soul Reap, Spirit Leash, and Zerath Will. Not bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid list.
Okay. Oh, and then you want... All right, let me do the Forgeborn. Oh, okay. Yeah. So here's the Forgeborn. Lower... There we go. That coming in for you?
Yep, that's good. Yeah, Soul Rip, Dark Summoning, and Raising Dead. Perfect.
Okay. We'll get this scanned in for anyone following along. I lost the Forgeborn. There it is. Okay, that one is scammed in.
Awesome.
I don't know if anyone's actually on. Oh, I forgot the minion, actually. Where'd the minion go?
I think it was just a regular zombie. Yeah,
it was. It was. All right. All right. Next up, the Utera deck. Try to just slice it open.
Ooh.
Was that?
Ooh. Yeah.
This is there it is, right? That's Kickstarter minion?
Yeah, Kickstarter Oakfather.
Right,
I feel like that's my favorite Kickstarter minion for sure.
Okay, here we go. Armored Hunter, probably not what you want to see, right?
I don't know. Armored Hunter's not too bad because it's a resilient creature that also helps you battle. Like, I don't mind armored creatures, especially in limited.
Okay.
Okay.
Progeus, solid limited. Feral Instinct, Ferocious Wartusk, Grove Mother, Relentless Wanderers, Spring Dryad, Stout Bear, Summoning Council, and Toxic Spores.
Oh, that's not a bad deck. Wouldn't just go a little lower, by the way.
Oh, okay. Here's the Nova.
Yeah, this is a solid list.
And the Kickstarter alternate art, right?
Yeah, alternate art Wisp. That
Alternate
Oakfather
art
is so
Wisp.
nice.
All right, so we'll add that in somewhere. All right, let me get this scanned in.
So the Puffin Man asked, how do they get to the GVG Circuit Collection Manager? So what you do is if you open up the Collection Manager tool, and then when it asks you to put in a username, you just type in GVG Circuit, and that will work. Actually, what I can do as well is I could pull the manager while we're going, and I'll just post a link that's pulled that people could just refresh as they go into the Discord chat. So I'll do that as well. But that's how you could do it. Just open up the normal collection manager, and GVG Circuit is the username.
Okay, here we go. Tempest deck. We have not seen a Betrayer yet. Combat Stonefist. Am I still too high?
No, you're perfect right there.
All right. Conflagrate, Everflame Aura, Firefist Uranti.
Ooh.
Hey.
Kickstarter
Freezing
Omni.
Hibernating Spell Knight, Ice Storm, Pyre Song, and the Steadfast Breaker. Oh, one more. Thunderstomper.
That one's fun.
Not super exciting in this list, but the Omnis, are you? I don't know. I guess you can't talk too much about the draft because you're actually in it. But
no, I don't mind.
Are Omnis? Oh, and here's the. Is this is normal? Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal.
Are the Omnis considered strong and limited, you think?
They can be. It really depends on what your pairing list is going to be. This one itself has a lot of interesting ways to like damage creatures, and then it has the Pyre Song, and it's got Conflagrate, which is great with mages. So it's like that as a deck can be really strong. I know someone's going to want that just for the fact that it's an Omni, and it's a Kickstarter Omni, so it's like not many Kickstarter Omnis are out there, if I'm not mistaken. So
you're saying it probably won't be left over in the bottom 8, is what you're saying?
Probably not. I'll be very surprised.
Probably would like Asunder, though, right?
Probably. Although, actually, that one, because it had Demolish to destroy a creature with decreased power, or decreased health, I mean, there was a lot of ways to ping damage in that deck. So, like, the Korok's not horrible there. Like, it's got a lot of removal. So that one could be interesting.
Okay, it is scanned in. I've got it organized here. I've got a system going. How's the pace? We doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to move to White Fang Pass?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's alternate. Let's keep it interesting.
All right, here we go. Do you always, whenever I open White Fang Pass, I always look at the back to see if I got any soul binds?
Oh, I know. That? Yeah, I do that.
Okay, let's do it.
Right,
no soul binds.
No soul binds.
No soul binds. I'm sure we'll get some, though.
Oh, for sure.
All right, we'll start with, I'm going to try to keep these on camera. No Kickstarter minions in here either, so we can bypass that spot. Here we go. Honestly, I have actually timed myself opening hundreds of packs just to see how fast I can open them, and it's always way slower than I expect it to be just to get the wrapping off.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst part.
Okay, Biting Wartusk, Grove Mother, Refreshing Druid, Savage Oath, Shifting Tactician. Is this our first Betrayer?
First Betrayer.
Not super exciting.
It is a scientist, though, so sometimes people are looking to build scientist decks. Having a scientist in Betrayer could be interesting.
Are there a lot of natural scientists in green?
Not really. Biologist is one of the only ones I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. Spiked Carapace, Spirit Charm, Stampeding Hunter, Stout Decayosaur, and Twin Strength.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And it's got a Betrayer, so I don't think that's going to end up in the bottom 8 for sure.
I don't know. That Betrayer is not exciting.
Yeah, but like in general, Betrayers, like, people tend to like them just to have them. Just so you never know what's going to happen in a future set. Like, what if Scientist Synergy becomes like the big thing, and it's just like, oh, I wish I had that in a different deck. Oh, and it's got Dark Forge Drain 3. I know Dark Forge Drain 2 or 3 tend to be what people want in Oros.
I didn't actually count the spell count here. I'll look as I pull it off to scan it.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's 4 natural spells and also Was there I think there was a... Wasn't there? No, maybe there wasn't an Exalt. No Exalt here. So just
Yeah.
4 natural Exalts, it looks like. I'll bring it back on camera here after I scan it. All right, scanned in. So I don't think there's no... is that readable at all?
Yeah.
No Exalts there, right?
No Exalts, no.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set this aside. Here we go. On to Tempest. Deck 6 of 40. Anything? Actually, I wish I could talk to you. I wish I could talk to you, Sam, as if you weren't in it. I could be like,
Oh, you
Sam,
can. I don't mind. I'm here to
anything
have
catching
fun.
your eyes so far? You are here to have fun. You're all about fun.
I feel like
Okay, here we go.
the Freezing Omni deck so far is really cool. Like, that's one that I think...
Just as a deck you'd want to own, not necessarily because of its power in Limited.
The thing is, like, so far, it looks like it might be a pretty strong one in Limited, because it's got a lot of just removal. And, like, in general, in Limited, the more removal you have, the better you're going to be, because you don't have a huge selection of cards, so, like, no one's going to have their ideal deck, ideally. So, at that point, like, removal ways to kind of keep the board clear can be really strong. So, I think that one will be pretty strong.
All right, we'll have that one as the deck to beat so far. Ardent Ice Crusher, Arrogant Warstoker, Burnout, Fleetworm, Furious Warhound, Ice Storm, Quaking Stonefist. Oh, Raging Shardback, almost.
Almost Furious.
Stampeding Smash Fist, and the Venerable Frost Hulk. I'm not sure I've ever seen that card before, actually. Or played with it, I guess. I'm probably seen it before. Okay, Spellstrike Minion, and the Forgeborn is another Korok.
All right. I feel like that one's not going to be... this one will probably be a 3rd or 4th round pick, is my guess.
Oh, okay. So you're not saying it's going to fall off. Are you going to claim? Are you going to... You'll make a stake if you think it's going to be in the bottom 8, unpicked, unselected?
Yeah, if there's one that I think that might hit the bottom 8, I'll make a statement for that. So then someone could pick it and prove me wrong.
Okay. Next up. So are you not super excited about Necreum and White Fang? Is that what you're saying?
The thing is, I am. I think that in general, though, Utera and Necrom in the first set have the potential for some crazy decks. So it's like the overall power level's a little lower in set 2. Like, I feel like in set 2, people really want the Tempest decks, and in set 1, people tend to want more of the Utera and Necrom decks.
Where are you at on Cacklebones?
Cacklebones?
In Limited.
It's a really interesting card, and I feel like in the right deck it could be really strong. Just because, again, it's removal, but like the level 1 only does 1 damage, so you have to find a way to buff it or fight with it or something. But when you can, it could be really good.
So you're not excited about it, but you're like, yeah, it's a playable card.
Yeah.
Okay, Cacklebones. Ooh, Cold Heart Brute. I've had some fun with him.
Yeah.
Doom Drake.
Okay.
What is Doom?
Destroy another one of the creatures to deal damage equal to its power for level 3. It can be really strong with like a really like, hey, let me like throw my Krogius at you for the win or something.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Dr. Frankenbaum, Ghastly Renewal, Grave Pact, Red Wasteland, Runescarred Pit, Vile Alluvian, and the Zombifying Geist.
Wow, this one's interesting because it's got a lot of zombie synergy, and it's got the Cold Heart Brute, and then you could basically make everything a zombie and then buff them all. So,
and the Cacklebones is a zombie.
Yeah, so that I like this one.
Okay, we'll put this here, and we've got the Nyx Nekia, which is what you want in a zombie deck, right?
Set 2 Nyx doesn't have the same amount of like minion generation, I would say. I would say this one's not bad. Set 1 Nyx tends to be the better of the two for a zombie-based deck. Although Endless Death isn't horrible here.
At level 2?
Yeah, it's just... there's not a ton of self-sacrifice, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So it could be okay. It's not bad for just like a combat where your whole board's going to die and then you fill it back up. But
I will say, Endless Death in Limited has seemed actually quite strong. I'm scanning this in.
Yeah.
I played the other day where somebody had it on level 4, I think. Is it the Oak Fathers, right?
Yeah.
And they were way behind, but they were able to just somewhat stabilize by wiping boards with me and then ending up with a full board of Oak Fathers.
Yeah, that's insane. And that, I remember when I saw Endless Death level 4 the first time, and I'm like, wait a second, we're making Oak Fathers in Necrom, and it like makes me wonder if there's going to be some sort of story thing coming out eventually that's gonna kind of cross faction minion stuff. But we'll see. That might just be a we wanted to go stronger than Brute.
Yeah, agreed. I actually had that same exact discussion with somebody about it's weird that the green ones are in there, but it might have been just like, hey, how do we actually linearly progress this ability?
Yeah.
You probably are happy to see Arrogant Allomancer as a first card, right?
Yeah,
Here?
I would be, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Arrogant Allomancer, Bright Steel Gargoyle, ooh, Duplication Dome. That one's fun.
Yeah.
Emboldening Safeguard, Gizmo, Isolate, Metamind Overseer, Prepared Researcher, Redact, and the Shardbound Vexer, which the Shardbound Vexer has not impressed me.
The thing, I feel like there's certain decks where it could be really strong. It really depends on kind of the build. Excuse me.
Here's the Rosetta. I didn't actually get a mage count there either. I don't think it was many.
I think it was like 3, maybe.
What? It was that high?
It was either 2 or 3.
Okay. All right, scan it in real quick. I can probably get you a mage count, although it didn't seem super excited. But I guess it doesn't always matter, right? You can often get your mages from red.
Yeah, for example, like if you paired that with your deck that had the Freezing Omni, if someone ended up getting both, having the Freezing Omni as removal, having the Allomancer as removal, and then having the Prepared card, which lets you ready one of your creatures that's been activated, like that could be like a nice little combo right there. Like those two might not pair; they might pair pretty well together.
Is the Vexer a mage?
Yeah, that is.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to clean up just briefly here, throw this out. All right, that was it for the first kit of White Fang Pass. Here we go for the next Kickstarter kit. All right. Hey, look at that. Another one.
Nice. I've actually opened the full case of like 24 and maybe gotten like 6 or 7. So it's like 2 and 2 boosters is a pretty good rate so far.
All right. I lost my cut. Here we go. All right. So we'll start with the Arrogant Rex, which is the dinosaur guy.
Yeah. This is definitely one of those boosters where, based on the face cards, I'm like, all right, I'm okay with any of these decks. Like, granted, there's no Drix in the blue deck, but I always enjoy seeing a Rex because if you have a bunch of good dinos, that could be fun. And I always love seeing Botanimate as the first card in a Terra deck because like Krogeus is still alive, like Forge Seal Mantis are still alive, like a lot of your good cards are still alive.
I'll flip this way. All right, here we go. Rex first. Burnout. Chaining Stonefist. Always love a good chaining.
Oh, me too.
Flame Jet.
Ooh.
Hibernating Colossus. Ice Storm. Steadfast Worm. Thundersoar. Undeady. And the Windspark Elemental. Some playable cards here.
There are. I wish I had like 1 or 2 more spells for the chaining, but at the same time, like Arrogant Rex with Thundersoar could be pretty fun.
I think it's our first Sunder as well.
Oh yeah, it is.
Although, where are you at on Ice Armor?
It's tough because I feel like Ice Armor at level 4, if you get to cycle 4 and you're kind of like, sometimes if you have to have it, I don't mind it there. Early in the game, I feel like it'll save one of your creatures maybe in combat, but like the Ironbeard ability that's like 4 to every creature and to yourself is stronger at that like
And
tier.
isn't Stimbolt arguably stronger because
yeah.
of just the upgrading?
Oh, for sure.
Alone.
Stimbolt at 2 or 3 tend to be where I like that. I guess my ideal is Stimbolt at 2, Gathering Storm at 3, and then Summon the Swarm at 4.
Which is basically no ice armor.
Yeah, no ice armor, I guess.
Your ideal is no ice armor. All right, here we go. The Explosive Necrium decks. So we got Abyssal Demon, Commanding Fiend. I've had a lot of fun with Commanding.
Oh, me too.
Devouring Geist,
Ooh.
Devouring Shambler, double Devouring.
And there's also double Shamblers alive. We'll see, because there could be a Shambling
double
something.
Devouring. That's a rare modifier, right?
It is. It is. That's a rare modifier with a Dreadbolt too. That's strong. And a Shambling Reaper.
You got the double Shambling and the Soul Reap and the Spirit Leash, Zissi Dreadmaw, and his Raswill.
Yeah, this deck is probably going in the first like 2 or 3, maybe 4 picks so far. Like this is probably the best one that's been opened.
I didn't see how many beasts that we got. Yeah, both of these are beasts. 2 beasts for the, which is a little light, but you don't need all your beasts from black, right? Or purple.
That was a Shambling Reaper too, right?
Shambling Reaper,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's the one where one of your creatures dies, and then your shambling creature deals damage, and then it gets a bunch of power too. So it's like that's a nice little combo on its own. So
One of your creatures damages the enemy player. Give it. So this guy's just gonna get like a million attack. Is that what you're
yep,
saying? Every
yeah,
time he gets a Shambler, he
yep,
gets wow. So he could be like a 30 or something,
yep,
pretty quick with like four. Yeah,
yeah,
four Shamble abilities in one turn, and he's like a 33-14 if you just lay him down. Huh.
exactly,
I'm
yeah,
not sure I've seen that card actually. There's not many of them here. There's 61
yeah. That's a
at this point.
solid one.
All right, and Cersei,
Eh,
which I think is, weren't you saying? I think you,
Cersei's
I
definitely
think
the best.
wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was you saying that you like Cersei just as far as just like high ceiling, but like just like general good abilities, right?
Yeah, and like unfortunately, this one's missing army commander, but I guess your life drain and your death touch at 2 and 3 tend to be your best two slots, and you're hoping to ideally win before cycle 4. But with this deck with the double shamblers, that soul siphon could actually like potentially win you the game because it's like you have the shambler out, you kill one of your other creatures, give your shambler +12/+12, you get a shamble trigger, and if it's the reaper, it also gets a bunch of additional attacks. So like that deck definitely is really strong. It's probably as of now going to be my guess is like ranking towards the first pick overall.
Where are you at on Zraswil with
Oh,
Shamblers?
so good.
Because but isn't it? It's a little weaker though, isn't it? Right? Like it's
The
like
thing,
because shambles are happening after combat, and Zraswil is a free card during the turn, right?
yeah, but
I was
there's
having this
also
discussion with somebody else the other day.
there are a lot of situations where someone might try to remove your shambler during that turn, and there was also the Zithian Dreadmaw, which destroys one of your own creatures, and it had
Mm.
life drain at 2, so it's like basically if you save your life drain for the turn, you get the Xeris Will to guarantee that turn. So there's a lot of ways to proc it in that specific list.
Okay. Okay, here's the Tempest list. Energy Surge, Heavy Artillery, Orion Battle Droid, Palladium Simulacrum, the Rallying Scrapper.
Mm.
When a creature replaces this, which isn't great, and the deploy. That's kind of not what you want from a rallying, right?
I guess it's probably because you want the rallying creature to stick around. But that being said, when it's about to die, you just replace it again to get more power, so it's not bad.
Sonic Burst, I'm a big fan of that card. Sea Light Researcher, Taunting Specimen,
That's interesting.
Venerable War Charger, and the Warmonger mod. So not super exciting, but rallying is always a card you want to see, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then that's the kind of deck where if you had like ways to play free spells, and you could play your Energy Surge or Warmonger mod for free, like and just get them kind of leveled up, like those could be really strong for the rest of the game.
But nothing in here that's really exciting. I do like the Sonic Burst, especially if you're playing somebody who's running like Shamblers or Darkheart or something.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
It's somewhat of a utility list, although I would have a hard time believing somebody's like actively like, oh, I want that deck, right? It's like, that could be a utility deck that depending on what other people are grabbing.
But I guess for an Aloyan deck, it's probably one of the stronger ones we've seen so far out of the stuff we've opened.
Wait, what makes you say that? The rallying?
It's just it's got the rallying. I know a lot of people aren't super high on Warmonger mod or Energy Surge, but they're as long as you play the level 1 Warmonger mod, it's like you're getting gizmos or mega gizmos and playing creatures. It's like getting you more cards to play. So there was a lot of ways to play cards or in that deck.
Okay. Okay. How are we doing on focus? You can read these?
Yep.
All right. Botanimate, Camouflage
Ooh.
Rex.
Camouflage Rex is a really good modifier for Rex because it's gonna stay alive on your Forge turns unless they have
Okay.
aggressive.
Yep.
And a Forge
Forge
Seal.
Seal. Magnivorous Slayer, Mystical Tangle Sprout, which Mystical Tangle Sprout, I don't mind Mystical Tangle Sprout in Sealed.
Yeah.
Refreshing Decayosaur, which is the dinosaur for the Rex. Regenerating War Tusk, Shardplate Delver, another dinosaur. Stampeding Bartok, and a Torgmai Guardian.
This one's not bad. How many dinos were there though?
I think it was the Rex, and then it was just the Decayosaur and the Shardplate Delver.
That's not bad actually. The 3, and then imagine pairing that with the other Rex, and then you got a couple more dinos right there. That could be pretty solid. And a level 2 Dark Forest Drain to
With
pump
the
up your
Forge Seal.
dinos. Yeah, that's not bad. And you got a couple
And
breakthrough creatures and stealth creatures.
you also have Scape Shift, which is not irrelevant with the Rex, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, because you could basically, if you get to cycle 4, Well, I guess if the Rex is already out and then you play the card, it's like you're not going to necessarily be able to scape shift it to fight. But if you,
But
the other Rex, the red
the
Rex.
right, and the Forge Seal too is not irrelevant
Oh
with the
yeah, just make it a spirit and then Forge Seal on it and gain a bunch
yeah.
of life.
I've rarely seen the all creatures types like matter a ton, but I have seen a few places where people are just like, oh yeah, getting just a little bit of value out of it is something at least.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
All right, here we go. Battle for Viking Pass, Kit 2. You want to do we want to see the other side or no?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we got Impending Doom. Where you at on Impending Doom? Which is that's the what's the name? What's the name of the creature again?
That's Muthrall. That's the Chanting of the Abyss card.
That's right. That's right.
That's the one
Let's
where
do it.
I'm hoping that one day they make a card that breaks that. I guess is the way that I could say that.
It's a fun card, is it not?
It's a cool card. It's just the fact that you need to wait till cycle 4 to be able to flip makes it kind of the ceiling very low, and I guess the floor very low as well.
Oh, okay, that was wrong side. Here we go. Arrogant Alamancer, Arrogant Warden, Sypian Experimentation, the Forge Plate Yeti, Guardian's Wall, Lightforge Sentry, Repurposed Assassin, Shardbound Vexer, Steelgraft, and hey, look at that.
Betrayer Thundersaur. I know
Betrayer Thundersaur.
I know the Puffin Man who's actually like in the draft has been looking for Betrayer Thundersaur, so this might be a deck that they specifically try to draft. Not to tip
Blue
their hand.
Thundersaur.
Yeah.
Okay, with Ironbeard, which I don't know where you're at, but I actually quite like Ironbeard. I'm usually looking for Shields Up because I just feel like Shields Up is one of the like stronger limited abilities.
Yeah, I definitely like Shields Up in an Ironbeard. I like set 2 Ironbeard a lot more than set 1. And I tend to like Shields Up at cycle 2 just because it lets you kind of live through that turn to help you stay alive. And then in cycle 3, ideally, I like the ones that give like you and your creatures adjacent power. I forget the name of that ability, but that tends to help you push damage in cycle 3 once you have your stronger cards out.
And our second Betrayer.
Second Betrayer.
This is set 2. Put it here. Okay, here we go. On to the Brashful Reveler. We'll go this side, which Brashful is what?
It gives it aggressive and breakthrough. I love that modifier. And Reveler, unfortunately, because it has lower stats in general, it's probably not going to break through, but the aggressive is nice. Just a lot of extra value from the Reveler as well. But
okay, well, these are 2 cards you don't mind. Reveler and Krogius.
No, definitely not. Don't mind them at all.
Combat War Tusk, Asperian Steel Plate, the Heart Tree.
Okay.
That's an interesting one, although I think it's a bit of a build around, right?
It is a little bit of a build around, but we'll see if there's anything that could help with it.
Oxidon Rager, Refreshing Decayosaur, okay. Savage Oath, Shardplate Behemoth, and the Otera Charger. He's like you never feel bad seeing him.
And then Heart Tree, what's the exact wording on again? Is it when a creature enters in that lane?
This is the level 3 version. Can you read it here? You need me to read it?
No, you're good. Okay, so that's the one where you give a creature additional health, but then when you gain health, you give a creature in that lane health. So unfortunately, there's not a way to finagle it where you could give health to the Otera Charger before you battle, but it's still really strong in general. But there's not a lot of health gain except for the refreshing, I think.
Yeah, and it's giving health, which I didn't see any. Oh, wait. So that's pretty awesome with this guy, right?
It's giving health? As long as you could gain health with the Shardplate Behemoth, it could be really strong. Because it's just like, hey, I gained 10 with the refreshing, or it might be 11.
And isn't the, this is the give a creature plus 10 health when it comes into play.
Yeah, so that alone, like, really strong.
It's kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Whoops, I forgot the Forgeborn here. Here we go. Nova.
Okay, and Bounty's gaining a life right there. So with the Heart Tree, that can help a little bit. All right, it's not bad.
Only one natural spell for the Reveler, and then how many? Did you see how many exalts were in that one? I think it was just the one.
I think it was just the one.
So not great for the Reveler, and the Reveler got the not great ability. So not a great Reveler deck if you're doing Mage things, shenanigans,
In
which I've
general,
seen you
though.
do before.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen you do that before.
I've done that before for sure.
All right, we're gonna save the Necrium for last. We'll do Firehide Idol. Where are you at on Firehide Idol Unlimited?
That card is a card I undervalued for a long time until Eli played it against me more than most. And at that point, I was just like, wow, that card's actually really strong. Because it's just damage to the face and damage to a creature. Like, I never read the and, I always thought it was or. So
But
it's
the
like,
turn it comes down, it does nothing.
yeah, but like, typically if you play it and then first, and then you play a bunch of spells or minions or things like that after, it can go off pretty quick.
Okay, look at this. Double Exalt. Firehide Idol. Flame Sculptor Seal. Fleet Evoker. Ice Storm. Lightning Tamer. Nargath Commander. Scorchbane Dragon. Solemn Stonefist. Stampeding Mongosaur. And a Thundersaur. Wow.
Yeah, those two together are fun.
So, yeah, that's definitely with the Nargath Commander, too.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid list.
That's some fun shenanigans, especially if you can get the Betrayer Thundersaur. Sounds like Puffin Man. That sounds like what he wants to be doing, right?
It does, it does.
With a Korok, which
It's not
yeah,
bad.
seems fine. Probably what you want on this on a list
CP.
like this. It's not doing spell things, right?
Yeah, with a Blast Wave, you could deal damage to your own Thundersaur as well if you really wanted.
And 2 Exalts for probably not getting a ton of Exalt synergy, but at least like I don't know, when I've been looking through the GVG decks, and it's pretty rare to get 3, and I don't think we have any. I don't know if it's possible to get more than 3 Exalts.
I'm actually not sure. I'll have to look to see if I have any that are more than that.
I think we've only got a handful at 3, and I think above that, I don't think we've seen a single one because you've got some cards that care about Exalts. Not many though. There's not. I don't know if have you seen somebody actually doing Exalt things?
I know actually during Gen Con there was a few decks that were like going on the Exalt train. Just like there's what's the name of the card? The Mystic Megatha. Whenever an Exalt is played, it gets a
Mm-hmm.
buff. And then there's also the Elemental, whose name is escaping me right now. Where when it enters, it gets additional power for each Exalt in
Yep.
play. So it's like those are nice because it also triggers off your opponent's Exalts as well on both ends. So those are fun.
Okay, Ardent Butcher. There it is. Chanting of the Abyss. Our first Soulbind. Devouring Slime. Epidemic. Hibernating Revenant.
Ooh,
Wow.
Betrayer Ice Storm. That's fun.
Yeah, especially because we have the
With an
we've
Epidemic.
got the. Wait, is this the Omni spell or no?
It's
not.
It is the Omni spell for the Freezing Omni. So
Which we got a Freezing Omni, right?
exactly, yeah. So technically, you could go double Ice Storm.
That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Indomitable Fiend. Although Ice Storm's a good spell on its own, I think.
It
right?
is.
Stout Spectre, the Vile Reaper. not the greatest, right?
The thing is, in the next set, Vile's probably going to be a little bit stronger because the self-destruction synergy is going to be really strong based on the spoilers. But right now, Vile's probably not the most ideal thing to open.
But Reaper's always good, right?
Yeah, Reaper's strong.
And a zombifying demon.
Yeah. But I guess with this one having Epidemic and Ice Storm, like you might be able to stall the board long enough to get to the Muthral.
Oh yeah, actually that's right. I wasn't thinking about the Muthral actually. I don't think I've ever played with that card, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think I have either, honestly.
And in limited, maybe it's better than because you're probably looking at most of your stuff from a constructed perspective, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Muthral is like an all-star in limited.
I guess the thing is, I think Tater Tot mentioned that I think he's flipped it maybe once, and he had a double Muthral deck. I've got to look into see maybe that's a fun poll to ask the community is how many times have people actually flipped the Muthral? That's I'd love to know that.
Wow, we are 3 for 3 with Kickstarter minions.
Yeah, that's incredible. I've never seen that many in 3-packs.
Okay, here we go. We'll start with Tempest here. There's something about opening set 1. Does it feel like the ceiling is often higher in set 1?
Yeah.
Is that an actual agreed upon thing, or am I just thinking that in my head?
So I think that in general, set 1 has a higher ceiling, except for Tempest, because the Nova Elementalist has a very high ceiling.
Right.
But in general, A lot of the competitive decks tend to be on the set one side, or at least one of the pairings, like except for the Nova decks, which could be both set two.
Okay, camouflage technician, charge plated drone. Look at that. That's the Sam special there.
Oh yeah, I enjoy a charge plated drone.
Although he's probably not great, right? Charge plated.
The thing is, if you get to cycle 3, at that point, it's like unless they have removal, that's living the rest of the game, and like you're gonna
And
be
I guess,
getting a lot of free stuff.
but he's not upgrading himself, which is what you want to be doing with a drone, right?
Yeah, but the thing
Okay.
is, the fact that it's a 23 power stealth though can be so good.
Okay. All right. So just on its own, it's a good card, and you got other things to upgrade stuff like Energy Prison, Orient Battle Droid, Platinum Simulacrum, Recycling Reinforcements, Reinforced War Charger, Shield Bearing Scavenger, Taunting Sentry, and another Warmonger mod. We've seen a lot of those.
Yeah,
I don't think this is an exciting list, though.
it's probably not gonna be picked in the first few rounds. But the fact that you have a taunting with that drone too, you could pull a creature away from in front of it when you're on the forge if they blocked it and somehow it lived. So it's like I feel like you like with that deck, the whole goal would probably be to try to build around getting that drone to level 3.
So, and it could just be, right? Because sometimes in Limited, you're just playing a deck for one card, right?
Sometimes.
We'll do the Kickstarter. Although blue is what you want if you want to be upgrading, and I think there was only like one other way to upgrade it.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately.
and it doesn't. I don't know. I've actually rarely played with drone because I think it's a rare, and I don't play blue that often. But you probably know better than I what the ceiling is on that card if you can get it on the field.
Oh yeah, anytime you hit with a level 3 drone, it's so good because it's just playing a card for free that you upgrade from your hand is just incredible.
Arrogant Basher. Don't mind seeing that.
Yeah, not at all.
Arrogant Mantis.
Okay.
Don't mind seeing that.
And a Botanimate too.
Animate.
And a Crogius.
Crogius.
Let's hope for the Forge Seal. Come on, Forge
Combat
Seal.
Hunter. Druid's
No
Chant.
Forge Seal.
Might of the Herd. Mystical Tangle Sprout. Stout Keeper. And the Mauler.
That's still a pretty solid list.
The first 4 cards
Yeah,
are solid.
I agree.
Like, never mind playing any of those. The rest of them are, I think, And the Forgeborn is Barkskin, which Barkskin seems so bad, especially when you compare it to Shields Up.
I agree.
But Dark Forge Drain, I guess with the Mantis, that's probably not going to complain there. And then the Shape Shift, we got another Kickstarter minion. Scan this in. 3 spells on the Dark Forge Drain, and one of them being Might of the Herd, and I guess it had Basher and the Mauler.
Might of the Herd, if I'm not mistaken, that's one that gives aggressive, right? It says target creature gains aggressive.
Oh, is that what its actual ability does?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll bring it back in. Might of the Herd. Yep.
Yeah, so I was playing against Weekend in a match where they played a Crogius in the back row and then Might of the Herded it and gave it aggressive, and I was just like, what? So it's like that to the 2 together in the deck, you can leave the Might of the Herd as an underdrop, and then if you get your Crogius off Forge in the same hand as you get your Might of the Herd, like you could just like aggressive out of Crogius.
Oh, interesting. Even a level 1, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
A level 1 Might of the Herd can still rush a level 3 Crogius across the finish line.
And you can do the same thing with the Basher there too. You play the Arrogant Basher and then give it aggressive, and then just like deal 20 something damage.
Okay. Forsaken Spectre, Ghoulish Fiend, Lyria, the Raging Stitcher,
All right.
Sigmund Fraud, Spirit Reaver, Vampiric Patron, Venerable Creeper, Virix Embrace, and Azrath Will. So solid little package here.
I wish I had like one more source of minion generation for that Stitcher, but it's definitely got a lot of solid cards.
Hey, here's some minion generation for you.
That's true. Army of the Damned could do it.
Not much though, just that.
Yeah, but if you pair this with a minion generating green half, just with that Stitcher, and like Lyria is fun too, because it's like you could just pull out like Lyria off the Stitcher to get another creature back from your discard pile as well. So it's like you could get a value of like 3 for 1 basically.
Okay, got that scanned in. Oop, almost cut myself. Is this one open? It's not. I'm telling you, the amount of time it takes me to just get started here without damaging the cards. Okay, here we go. This way. Arrogant Stormling, Hibernating Master, Inflaming Warhound, Lightning Spark, Stone Skin, Stormcaller. You always like seeing that.
Yeah.
The Summoning
Ooh,
Sentinel.
that's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Hey,
Ooh,
Varna's Pact.
that's a good betrayer. Nice little extra removal, and with the summoning as
I don't
well.
think we've seen a normal one yet, but yeah,
No,
that's solid. Venerable Giant and the Yeti Warcaller, which is I didn't see much there. Actually, it looks like just the Stormling.
or no, I
It's
don't think there
not.
was anything with mobility. Oh no, yeah, just a Stormling.
And the Korok. Nope, Sunder.
Gathering Storm. Okay, that's not bad though. With the summon the swarm at 2, I'm at 3, and then the Varnus Pact. That
Yeah,
could
but
be
how many?
fun.
There were 3 spells, including the Varnus Pact. So, that seems like an interesting list. I doubt it will go unselected. We'll say that.
Yeah, it's especially with the Betrayer Varnus Pact. I could see that getting picked for sure. And
Is that a
then
build around? Betrayer's Varnus Pact, though? That's not.
I don't know
That's
if it's a
kind of
build
a
around,
utility.
but like it's a utility card. But like if someone's building a minion list, and then again, like if you have a constructed list that's got maybe like Elysian Rain, a Summoning Council, and like a bunch of other cards, and then this one has the Master, which makes minions. It's got the Sentinel, which makes a minion, and it buffs off the amount of spells you've played, and you pair it with like a Dark Forge Drain list. Like it could be really strong. Oh, an Echo Wolves.
Echo Wolves. I'm actually not sure I've played that in Limited either. Is that something that you're excited about in Limited?
I think it's a little bit dependent on what the deck list looks like, but it's got a lot of value for a creature. So it's like I
Because
think
it's a bunch
that's.
of beasts, right?
I actually don't remember if it's a beast as the creature type. It's got to be. So
I
then,
think I think they are beasts. I think there can be some beast synergy, although I don't know if it's as strong in set 2 as it is in set 1.
mhm.
Okay, this side. All right, here's the Tempest, or nope, Aloyan, Armored Safeguard, Arrogant Engineer, Scythian Augmentation, Energy Prison, Glitch Scout, Isolate, Progressive Technician, Spirit Force Sentinel, Venerable Allomancer, and a Videcarus.
I like the vid with the Allomancer combo. That's pretty fun.
Are they both mages?
I actually don't know if it's a mage. It might be.
Oh wait,
It's just the
they don't.
ping.
Allomancer doesn't care about that, right?
No,
He's
it's just.
the replace guy.
Oh no, the Allomancer is the one where it deals damage equal to the number of mages. But just
Oh,
the fact
okay.
that you have 2 cards that could just ping and remove cards, like, is nice to have in the same deck. Yeah, and that's not a bad Ironbeard either.
This list wasn't that exciting though, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like not one I would necessarily prioritize picking up, but it's for an Alolan list. It's not bad. Like some people really, really like Vidicarus, and like
Really? I
yeah,
don't
it's
think I've really
just
seen him played.
yeah, especially against like some of the minion decks and stuff. If you can deal some damage otherwise, and then just like basically wipe their whole board with the level 2 or level 3 Vidicarus, it could be really strong.
All right. A Seer Mech Mage, always something you want to see, especially because we've seen a couple mage synergies going around, right? In
Yeah,
blue.
yeah.
Blitzing Smash Fist, Combat Stormling, Fleet Evoker, Lightning Charge, Nargath Commander, Spirit Golem Conclave, which this card,
Ooh,
I'm a fan of this card in
me
Limited.
too. And there's a lot of mobility in this list already, so you could move in and out of that lane and keep giving your stuff
Stampeding
power.
Mongosaur, Stormcaller, and another Thundersaur.
Yeah,
Which Thundersaur, I guess is kind of interesting with Spirit Golem. Because
yeah,
even a level 2 is like +8, I think.
yeah. And I think the level 3 is either 13 or 15.
Sunder, Frostblast, Stimbolt, and Gale Surge. Right? Set 2 Sunder is not as good as set 1, right?
Not as good,
Ish.
but the thing is, Gale Surge at level 4, if you haven't already won, like that's likely going to win you the game.
Just because you could basically get any amount of damage through or your largest creature through.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just going to be able to move your whole board around and give a bunch of power. So it's like your opponent's going to have a hard time like trying to block your stuff, because I think it gives them mobility 2 or 3 at that point, right?
It was give your creatures +4 attack this turn, they get mobility 3.
Yeah, so it's like you could rearrange your board however you want with that. So especially with something like the Spirit Golem Conclave, you can move creatures out of that lane, move them in, and make stuff really big.
All right. Abyssal Poltergeist, Combat Demon, the Doom Stitcher,
Okay.
Evil Lab, Horrific Amoeba, Runescarred Pit, Shadow Strength, Vampiric Spectre, Zimus, and a Zombifying Shambler.
That's an interesting list. I
A
like it.
couple
Because,
decent cards in there. Stitcher, Shambler, Zimus, right?
yeah,
All of those are strong limited cards.
for sure. And then if you have the Zimus at 12 attack and then basically sacrifice it with your Stitcher to deal 12 damage to the opponent and then just get the Zimus right back, that could be really strong. I
All
like
right.
that
Yeah.
list.
I mean, I think that is going to be quality. It only had well, it shows one spell on the back, but I think it had 2 exalts, right? With the
Yeah.
Evil Lab, Runescarred Pit.
Yep, exactly.
Is zombifying doing much in
Not a
limited, especially?
not a ton. Like if you have zombifying with commanding, that could be really good. Because if you make everything a zombie and then play your commanding card, that then buffs everything. Um, that being said, there's not a ton of stuff that cares if the creature's a zombie. But I think eventually it's going to be like something that you'll enjoy having.
Okay, Arborist.
Let's hope for some life gain in here.
All you need is
Oh,
just like, hey, there it is,
there's
Ardent
some life
Sower.
gain.
The Sower is awesome.
I agree.
I've not played with it much, but there's some awesome stuff, especially if you can get it with the what's it called, the Toro,
Yeah, I agree. Let's hope there's a
Taro.
total. Ooh, a Brashful Reveler. Okay, let's
That's our
hope for some
second Brashful
spells.
Reveler, I
It
think.
is, yeah.
What are the odds?
The
There's
Echo
Echo
Wolves.
Wolves.
Ooh, Ferocious Breaker.
Not super exciting for a
It's
Betrayer in this deck.
That's true, but it's going to end up being a 14 attack. It's going to give something 7 attack. So it's like basically a 2-for-1.
Ferocious Roar, Patriarch's Binding, Stout Bartok, Venom Chalice, and the Vine Lash. I didn't see a lot of exciting stuff to go with the Sower. Where's the other plant?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if there was another plant.
Hey, doesn't it have to come with one?
Oh, maybe it's the Patriarch's
Oh,
Binding makes the plant Spirit, which is an Oak Father.
okay. Here's the Oros,
Okay.
which I shapeshift. Plants matter a little bit, but and I guess I didn't. Was the anything cared about beasts either? I don't think so. I don't know. That list has some interesting stuff for sure, but I didn't see a lot the full package.
I get that.
Although Arborist can be kind of terrifying and limited, especially if it's like coming down right off of a Sower, like turn 1.
I agree.
That 7/7 can be a little bit of like hard to deal with, and then I don't know how often you've actually seen the 100 in limited.
I personally haven't seen the 100. Um, it's not impossible, I don't think, because I've heard people who have done it, but
Okay, you holding up over there, Sam? We
oh
doing
yeah,
okay?
no, I'm holding up.
All right. Here we go. We talked about the stream taking an hour. I think it looks like we're going to go slightly long. We started just about an hour from now, and we've got 4 kits left.
All right, that's not too bad.
Okay. Here we go. Second to last alpha kit, or I guess Kickstarter kit. I didn't actually look. Do we get one this time? No. No Kickstarter minion this time. So we're 3 for 4.
Which is still very incredible rates.
And I'm struggling here. Struggling. All right, there we go. All right, here we go on the Tempest deck. Burnout, Hibernating Sentinel, which Sentinel's the card you always want to see, right?
I love Sentinel personally.
The Inflaming Spell Knight, Lightning Spark, Staff of Varus, Stone Skin, Summoning Giant, Undeady, Venerable Warstoker, and the Windspark Elemental.
This one's pretty aggressive. I like this one.
Yeah, and it has some spell stuff going on there. But
yeah,
Korok here, although I guess it's a pretty aggressive Korok as well.
I like Lightning Speed. Lightning Speed 3 here is not bad because basically if you get to the 3rd cycle, just on one of your off-forge turns, just giving everything aggressive can be just like, hey, I'm going to win the game.
Yeah, it's four spells with a couple mages, so it could be one of those pair with one of those blue decks we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Dropping this here. All right, here we go. Second to last Kickstarter Necrium deck, which are always exciting. Although I doubt we're gonna beat the the third one we opened?
Yeah, the one with the 2 Shamblers. Although, like, if we hit like a Blight Witch or a Dark Heart Sorcerer, stuff like that, I know people are gonna potentially want that as well.
Actually, that's true. We haven't seen a Dark Heart in either set yet, right?
No, we haven't.
Okay, Arrogant Slime, Camouflaged Apparition, Ghoulish Banshee, Scourge Hydra, another Shambling Patron, Spirit Leash, Stout Meba, Vampiric's Geist, Vyric's Embrace, and another Zerath's Will with a lot of life gain here.
Yeah.
These 3 cards alone.
Yeah, and there was a couple beasts too, and the Shambling, and then the Scourge Hydra. Like, this one definitely had a lot of really strong purple cards. Like, this deck would actually potentially go very well with that Arboris, and we got Death Touch and Life Drain, so it's got the. This one definitely has a chance to get your Arboris to come in as 100/100.
Although almost all of our Xerxes have missed the what's it?
I don't think we've seen Army Commander yet, actually.
Yeah.
They've all
had the Soul Siphon, right?
Yeah, which in limited it's not as bad, but in constructed I feel like you definitely want that Army Commander.
There's just so much more like crazy shenanigans you can get it, and the value ceiling gets so much higher there, right?
Oh, 100%.
All right, here we go. Arrogant Specimen, which is probably the worst, right? Is that one of the worst?
It might be, because what's its defense stats at level 3? They can't be high.
It was 14.
Yeah. Not ideal. Although there's a couple others that are 14 as well. But
not ideal.
Not ideal. Ooh, but you got a Drix.
There we go. Drix, Energy Surge, Forge Plate Yeti, Shield Bearing Scrapper, Spirit Force Sentinel, Steel Eye Researcher, Stout War Charger, the Taunting Tinker, and the Venerable Inventor.
Yeah, this one's not bad. You got the Drix. You've got a what's it called? A Tinker. Like, there's definitely, and actually the Steel Eye too with the Drix is really nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Steel Eye with the Drix. If you can get the like blue-green minion package going.
Oh yeah.
We did see a Relentless Wanderers.
We did.
Scanning in. Okay. All right. Here we go. Some of these aren't even open enough for the blade, which is like, if I can't get a blade in there, you get a finger in there.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
I'll stop complaining though.
No. It's like literally every time I open packs, that's like my big complaint, and it's like I always end up like ripping my finger apart trying to open all this stuff.
Yeah, you end up like sore at the end of the night.
Yeah.
All right. Arrogant Wartusk, Ferocious Rex.
Okay, Forge Seal. All right.
Forge Seal, Lycian Rain, Roaring Ranger, Rooted Ravager. It's actually that's an interesting one.
It is
actually.
As long as we have some life gain.
If you gained life this turn, when you gain life, so it doesn't actually. It doesn't actually. Like, that doesn't work, right? If I play something that gives life and then play this guy, he doesn't come in with aggressive, right?
No, you would have to gain life again. But I think that might be a Spring Dryad behind it, and if it is, then no, it's a Sated Basher.
Hey, Sated Basher's not horrible though.
But if there's
still a chance for a Spring Dryad, no,
there's not.
Beating Slayer, Swamp Moss Lurker though.
That's the first Swamp Moss. What was the life gain here? Oh, it was the Forge Seal was the only one. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because there's actually a lot of stuff. Although we've seen plenty of black decks that are generating life.
Yeah, like, this would pair pretty well with that the deck that we just opened right before this.
And it's another Forge Seal early Dark Forge drain, especially when we've seen the like 4s Ras Wills or something.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty solid.
Barkskin's not great here.
Yeah, this is one where you just care about that Dark Forge drain. And I
just try to like get something through, get combo somebody out early on.
Yeah, I think that's the hope there if you use the Oros.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The swamp moss, along with the Ravager there, make it really exciting to pair with one of those
Yeah.
black decks.
No, I agree. I think that yeah, there's quite a few that could be a really nice pairing for that one.
Okay, we got only 4 more alpha decks left. This is set 2. We'll flip to see if we got a soulbind. Wow, we're gonna have very few soulbinds here.
Yeah, that's actually like so far like a pretty low rate because I found that like typically in like a booster display I've seen like at least 3 or 4 soul binds, which I guess that's what we've seen is about 2 or 3.
Well, we've seen 2 so far in 4 kits, which I guess I don't know, but some kits I've seen like 3 in 1 kit before.
That is true. I've done that too.
I feel like missing completely is also not that common.
I agree, but that likely means there's probably a betrayer in this pack or in this booster.
Wait, is that a thing? Or are you just
Sometime.
guessing?
I'm guessing because if you tend to miss the soul bind, we might see a betrayer. Because like typically with the way that the odds work, you'll see at least one of the 2.
Okay, Ardent Aetherfoot, lead the charge. Hey, there we go. Mustic Megatho. We're talking about Exalt things.
Oh yeah.
Mystic Tanglesprout, double plants, but I think we could still get the sower. For Refreshing Basher, Shard Plate Behemoth.
There we
Hey,
go. And this is actually that's a really cool betrayer. I know a lot of people really like Thunder Crash Field, and like the fact that like you could double Thunder Crash with this, like that could be really strong. So that's a
I don't think
solid
we've
betrayer.
seen a Thunder Crash Field in this draft, but you're just saying as far as like just add to your collection.
Yeah, like that's a deck that people would probably want to build around for something constructed. I know, like
Sure.
More Than Most had a double Thunder Crash deck that's really solid.
Yeah, there's some interesting tension in the draft too, as far as like what do I want for my collection versus do I try to grab something competitive, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, the
Ooh,
biologist,
a biologist with the Thunder Crash is really nice.
the Mauler. I didn't think about that, and the Venom Chalice. You're into the biologist in the Thunder Crash
Oh
field.
yeah, because it's just you play the Thunder Crash, you get the Spell Sprite or the Spell Swarm, and then you Thunder or you biologist it to get a bunch of power. Like that could be a really fun deck.
Okay, and another Oros, another Dark Force Drain.
Oros just really likes to drain from the forge. He did.
Right.
He was. I think he was the most corrupt in the Gen Con event too. So it's fitting.
Which I actually am not sure what that means. What does that
Oh,
mean?
so in the Gen Con storyline event, like there was the ability to like flip over the storyline cards, and whoever flipped over the most, I think, ended up being like the most corrupt. And I'm pretty sure Oros they said was the one who flipped the most in the event. So the players who played Oros were the ones who corrupted him, basically.
I see. I see. So that probably also means he was just played a lot. Is that also kind of a
He was played a lot, but
okay? All right, Ardent Demon, Broodfang, Dark Shaper's Ritual, which you've seen a couple beast decks, including
yeah,
Echo Wolves.
and that's 2 beasts right up front with the ritual as well.
Actually, yeah, I didn't think about that. Dissipating Spectre, Ghoulish Drake, Horrific Meba, Shadow Strength, another beast, Spite Hydra, the Vile Reaper, and Zimus.
All right, this
with
one
Nixnexia.
I would say this one leaves a little to be desired for a purple deck, but at the same time, the nice little beast synergy is not bad, and being able to destroy one of your own creatures for the Brood Fang when you need to with the Vial is not bad.
Yeah, it missed pretty much like all the like really desirable purple cards, right?
I would agree with that, or a lot of them.
A lot of them. Maybe Zimus, I would say, is actually quite strong and limited.
Oh yeah, Zimus is incredible and limited. Because the odds of somebody having a way to like so far, there's been a couple of Botanimates, but that's really the only way that we've seen so far to deal with him. Like I don't think we've seen any Leyline Vermins. And I don't think we've seen any Basher or any Batter Hides. So there's really not many ways to deal with the Zimus right now.
All right. And the Tempest deck. Arrogant Razortooth, Blitzing Stormling, Combat Shardback, Furious Hawk Rider, Herald of Fury, Lightning Charge. We've seen a lot of Nargoth commanders.
We have
Solemn Breaker. Hey, there it is.
someone could get their dream double Thunder Crash.
Someone can get a double Thunder Crash and the Unstable Vortex, which I have not found super exciting.
The thing is, it's removal. If you play a lot of spells in your list and then It's either
You
it
just
ends up being a giant spell sprite with a lot of toughness, or you could potentially use it as removal. But lightning speed 2 is nice. But
so how good? I don't know. I guess you don't have to. You
no,
don't
I don't
have
mind.
to.
What's up?
I'm just curious on your thoughts as far as double. Like, is that a thing that you've like brewed around with at all? Do you have a Betrayer Thundercrash field in your collection?
I actually do not, as far as I know.
So you've not been able to tinker with it?
I have not, but I know a few people have, and they've had a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
Um,
Although that list didn't seem like it had a lot of extra stuff going on there. Although I don't really know what I don't even know what you're looking for with a double Thunder Crash field deck.
it's just like a lot of ways to play spells in the red half. Like if you could have like a flame jet and ways to potentially make more minions, like that's kind of a good way to kind of push a lot of damage and keep making minions. And they basically the Thunder Crash field, whenever you play the spell, as long as you have a spell sprite in that lane, it'll deal damage. So if you have a red half that's got like Elementalist Ritual, Flame Jet, a couple other spells that either could deal direct damage or things like that, that could really help just push a ton of damage off of that Thunder Crash. And if you have 5 or 6, or I guess the most you could have is 5, but if you have 5 Thunder Crash fields out on the field, like you're basically always have a chance to buff your
Yeah.
creatures.
So you're saying it's a thing? We could see it. It's
Yeah,
got potential to be a thing.
and with the biologist being able to pump the spell sprites power, that also will trigger your Thunder Crash fields. So
Okay. All right. So we can keep an eye out for it. See
we
if
could keep
somebody's
an
doing
eye
that.
out. I think someone's going to draft that green half pretty high.
You think that one will go before the betrayer? Oh no, the betrayer. What? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you think that one? Okay. And it's like, hey, if that other red deck hadn't been drafted yet, then it may become interesting to the guy who drafted the guy or gal.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Adaptive Assassin, Blightsteel Gargoyle, Bulwark Bash, Digitize, another Duplication Dome, Glitch Scout, Isolate, another Shardbound Vexer.
Ooh,
Hey,
another betrayer. Pterodon Mauler. That's not a bad one.
especially in blue, right? Although I don't know if there's a lot of gizmos, but that's kind of where you want Mauler, probably.
Yeah. And then
The Voltaic Magus. I don't think there is any. Oh no, the duplication. No,
oh
there
yeah,
isn't.
actually duplication dome with that would be very nice. Just
But there's
because
nothing in here that creates.
there aren't, but like at the end of the day, if you just replace even just one of your creatures at the very end just to push extra damage,
That's
and
true.
you might pair that with another deck with Pterodon Mauler as well, because there was a few that we've seen. Just because double Pterodon Mauler can potentially be something you're scared of the entire game, like as the opponent.
First Crux Cobalt as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Although I think I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep at the Pterodon Mauler, but I was kind of hoping for the Steel Rosetta there.
I get that, because if you could have the way to make a gizmo there, that would be really nice.
Yeah, although I might be overvaluing the gizmos there. Maybe the Mauler's totally fine without gizmos.
The thing is, it's better with the gizmos, I will admit.
Okay, here we go. We are on the home stretch. Last Kickstarter kit.
All right, so let's see like a Blight Witch or a Dark Heart or a Shambling Shambler, something crazy.
A Shambling Shambler. I think the odds of pulling the Shambling Shambler are quite low.
Very low.
We also missed. So we got 3 out of 5 on the Kickstarter minions. So we'll figure out a way to add those to the prize support. I actually did talk to one of the Stoneblade guys who got back to me on the kit. So it's still looking good, at least according to them, that we're going to have the OP kit for the prize support as well. So we should hopefully have full prize support down with the GVG credit for top 2, and then full, we'll have Kickstarter minions and the OP kit for the rest of the placings.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I may have forgotten to scan some. I'm trying to think if I forgot. Hopefully not. All right, here we go. Conflagrate, Disintegrate, Firefist Euronti, Hibernating Invocust, Rhymehorn Charger, Sparking, Stormling, Stoneskin, Stormcaller, Thunderstomper, and Turnabout. I think it's the first Turnabout we've seen.
That is the first turnabout.
Always a scary card in Limited.
Oh, I agree. I don't think there was enough mages for the conflagrate, but it was still a pretty solid list with that stim bolt at 3, and there was some really good spells in here. So that's
Gathering
not bad.
Storm and Stimbolt 2 and 3 are kind of the start of a spell package, which
It
it did have
is.
4 total spells.
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right, scanning this in. All right, here we go. We'll do the Aloyan one next. Okay, Aetherforge Oracle, Energy Surge, Gauntlets of Soulgrim, Orion Battle Droid, Palladium Hindermind, Recycling Tactician, Reinforced Assassin, Salvage Virtuoso, Steadfast Scavenger, and the Steadfast Sentry with a Iron Beard Forgeborn. Let's hear it.
So
Sam.
if I had to guess,
This
this
is
is
it?
one of the bottom 8 decks.
Okay, mark it down. Mark it down. Write it down somewhere. What was the name of this deck? This is, hey, the Aloyan Suns. So write that down, Sam. Your prediction. I was about to say the same thing, though, so it's not just your prediction.
Yeah.
Aloyan Sams ends up unselected in the draft.
The
It's
Aloyan
also,
Sams.
I will show this after I scan this, but just for, you can see here that it's didn't get a rare.
Oh, was there any rare modifiers? I think salvage is a modifier rare, right?
Oh, yeah, reinforced and salvage are
Okay.
2 rare modifiers, but no rare base cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. I'll be surprised if somebody drafts that. If they want to draft it to spite me, like, please. Like, if that deck had a good Steel Rosetta, I could have seen it maybe going, but like that list with an Iron Beard, I'd just be very surprised if someone's like, I wanna play with this.
Here we go. All right. Other side. All right. Dendrify, Ferocious Slayer, Might of the Herd, Relentless Wanderers, Roaring Polymorpher,
Okay.
Sated Matriarch, Shroudhorn Splicer, Spring Dryad, Stout Hunter, and a Swamp Moss.
That's not bad. I always enjoy the Swamp Moss with the Spring Dryad combos because it's just a steady source of life gain.
Yeah, it seems that deck. What are your thoughts on Dendrify in limited?
So
At one point, I
Dendrify.
thought people really were high on that card, but I've not heard much from it.
So people were high on it because of Nova Elementalist, because it could kind of remove a Rumble Spark in some situations. But with the Relentless Wanderers in that same list, being able to make a Wisp and then turn it into an Oakfather is not bad at all.
Okay. So you're happy to see Dendrify there?
Yeah, in that situation, it's just like anything with Breakthrough, like Oakfathers are really hard to deal with in Limited. Unless you have one of the decks with Tinkerer, or I don't think there was any Tormenting. So there's not a ton of minion removal right off the bat.
And one of our last chances here to see a Dark Forge. We have not seen one. Nope, not a Dark Forge. Dark Heart. Here we go. Cutthroat Apparition.
You did. You called it.
There it is. Cutthroat Apparition. Dark Heart Sorcerer. Grimgaunt Predator. Group Meal. Om Nom Nom. Scourge Hydra. Sigmund Fraud. Spirit Leash.
Oh, with a Vampiric Shambler.
Hey, if you can't get a Shambling Shambler, how close is Vampiric Shambler to?
It's a nice one.
Up there. And a Varna's Pact.
So this deck has a lot of pretty good removal. Like, it's not like the Cutthroat, I guess, is the closest to straight removal, but then you've got like the Scourge Hydra, you've got
Om Nom Nom.
Nom Nom Nom. It's got a pretty good spell package.
Spirit Leash. Did we see spirits? I guess the Cutthroat Apparition.
Yeah, that might be the only one. Oh no, the Grimgaunt too.
Okay. Group Meal. Are you excited to see Group Meal in there, or is that a dead card?
So Group Meal, it depends on the list you pair it with.
I forgot this.
All right, that's actually the Army of the Damned on Nyx Necria is really nice in set 1. Just being able to fill that whole thing with brutes if you need to. So that's not a bad Nyx there. Yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting list. I think that one will go pretty soon just because it has the Dark Heart. and it's got a lot of internal, like it's got a lot of ways to remove cards. So that one is
And
just
Darkheart Shambler, you're never sad about, right?
no, not at all, never.
Okay, last 4 kits. We are down the home stretch here. Sorry, 4, and we got our last chance at a Soulbind. And our last chance at a foil. Actually, we haven't mentioned that.
Oh yeah, we haven't had a foil yet. I've opened very few foils though.
Look at that.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a couple really nice face cards on these
There
lists.
was we only ended up with 2 Soulbinds, which I don't know. The only Soulbind, I don't know how many Soulbinds are actually super exciting
In general,
in
though,
the
they tend to bring a lot of value because it's just an extra card you play for free. Like, granted, only the first
so
time you
like,
play the card is free, but
like spell triggers and all that stuff that cares about that.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, here we go. Botanimate, Grove Mother, Magnivorous Aetherfoot, Aetherroot, another Mystic Megatha, Megatha, Oxidon Rager, Plagues. Hey,
Oh yeah, Betrayer Plague Spear. That's not bad.
it's not super exciting.
The thing is, it's removal.
Stampeding Ravager, Stegodon Alpha, Venerable Druid, and a Venom Chalice with a Nova.
All right, yeah, this isn't bad.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything super exciting. I mean, the Betrayer is probably the most exciting thing in there.
Probably.
Unless I missed, like, which, neither of us are keeping track, and if we get like a 5 Dino deck or something that, could maybe pair with something else.
That is a good point. The thing is, the Oxidon Ranger, if you have like the Red Rex in the other list, you can basically give that aggressive early on, so you have an aggressive breakthrough Ranger. But yeah, it's like
Okay. All right. Sorry, I almost just dropped my entire. You can't see it over here, but I have a very careful stack of all the decks.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go. A Betting Stonefist, a Seer Mech Mage, Combat Razortooth, the Fireheart Idol, Lightning Tamer, Solemn Colossus, Summoning Swarm, another Thundercrash Field.
All right.
Interesting. Tortoise Colossus and a Warbringer Ritual, which
that's nice with the
right?
especially with Thundercrash Field being able to put more spell sprites into the lanes with the Thunder Crashes.
And what do you want out of the Forgeborn here, Sam?
That's tough. Probably if it's a good Sunder, it's okay. But like Korok tends to be, let's see, Demolish isn't great here. Lightning Speed is nice. Earthen Fist is nice. Like Demolish is okay. It's like it's never horrible, but it's just there's not a lot of ways to ping your other opponent's creatures, and like you could get rid of something big if you need to, but
if you're doing the Thundercrash Field thing, though, you probably just want Stimble, right?
Yeah, Stimbolt's nice. Any way to make minions is nice.
Yeah. The set 2 does set 2 have the just play the spell sprites down? The double spell sprite one?
Now that you say that, I'm actually not 100% sure. I gotta check.
Yeah, I don't know either. I kind of just assume you're the encyclopedia for these things.
The thing is, though, a lot of times I end up using a lot of my set 1 Forgeborn because
we'll save the Ardent Shambler. We're gonna save that one for last.
That makes sense.
I don't know if we have any viewers left, but anybody who's rewatching this, at least give them a little bit of anticipation.
We got a handful, but okay. I do agree to end on a hopefully high note with that Ardent Shambler.
Okay, here we go. Second to last deck. Aloyan, Aegis Knight, Armored Prophet, Bright Steel Gargoyle, Digitize, Energy Surge, Metamind Overseer, Researching Specimen.
Okay.
That's not great, though, because it takes the printed, not the...
oh, you're right.
Right. Shield Node, Steel Eye Researcher, and a tech upgrade. Never said to see tech upgrade.
No, I agree with that. Especially with the Steel Eye, too.
And man, we are heavy on Ironbeards tonight.
Yeah. Ironbeard definitely came out tonight.
I think we saw one Crux Cobalt.
Yeah, there's one
And
Crux and only a few Steel Rosettas.
are you high on Crux Cobalt?
The funny thing is, I actually don't know if I've ever played with a Crux Cobalt. Like, I've seen other people play it. I've been excited about it because I really want to forge Seal Mantis a Crux Cobalt with like some of the stronger abilities because it could be so good. It's just lately I haven't been playing a lot of Set to Aloyan, so I haven't got to mess with Crux as much as I would like.
You've not been playing Mitchelloyan at all, let's be honest,
That's
Sam.
true. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know. I can't judge, but I feel like I have watched a few of your streams of the recent GVG events, and I'm not sure I've seen you playing. Were you playing Aloyan in the last one?
I did this week. Yeah, but
Okay,
granted,
all right.
I got kind of crushed.
That was your worst performance, is what you're saying?
Maybe.
Okay. All right, here we go. Final deck of the night. Let's bring us some last pack magic here.
Oh yeah.
Ardent Shambler, Bloodletting Spectre, Death Current, Forsaken Slime, Ghoulish Walker, Horrific Revenant, Howling Poltergeist, Keeper of the Damned, Oshuary Mech.
That's
Hey,
nice.
this is your guy right here.
Oh yeah.
Vampiric Necromancer. I've seen you play Necromancer a lot.
Yeah, I love Necromancer, and Vampiric is a great modifier for it.
Although overall, he kind of saved this one. The Shambler at the start, the bookends are nice, but the meat in the middle was not amazing.
Yeah, that's true. We've been getting,
All
I
right.
think, every Endless Death 2 has been at Cycle 2. I don't think we've gotten
Yeah.
an Endless Death at any of the other levels.
Yeah, which is the I don't know. I actually don't know how good Endless Death is at level 2. Maybe if you've got ways to like abuse it, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I've remembered to scan everything and I felt like I had a system, the collection manager should be reporting 40 decks. If it's not, I'll go through later tonight and figure out which ones I missed.
Awesome.
But that's a wrap.
Awesome. So what I'll do is once the video is done, I'll screenshot the pages that show the last two participants as well as the deck order. I'll make maybe little clips on it, so if anyone wants to go back and reference, I'll have this video on my Twitch as well as on YouTube. So if anyone wants to go back and watch this again, it'll be available for anybody. So if there's ever a question of hey, what was opened, we could. It's all recorded now, and we got it.
Okay, and details for the draft. Do you just want to briefly cover that, Sam?
Yeah. Do you want to cover it? Do you want me to cover it?
So I'll start, and then you tell me if I miss anything.
Perfect.
So the intent, I believe, is okay. I think it's Wednesday. I'm actually not looking at my notes, but I believe the draft was it Wednesday night? It was right at the same time as the Stoneblade stream, which we had a debate on that, and the idea was that hey, if you're drafting and you've got like 30 or 40 minutes in between your draft picks, that it could be nice to have some distraction or other things going on with other podcasts, etc. So
yeah.
And the draft, for anyone who hadn't looked at the details, the draft is pretty much a live draft where hopefully we're going to either create a Discord or find a place where we can all assemble. You wouldn't have to be live or on camera or anything, but somewhere where you can just be notified, and then everybody will have 5 minutes to make their first pick, 4 minutes to make their second pick, 3 minutes to make their third pick, and 2 minutes to make their last pick. Hopefully people do some prep ahead of time. The draft takes around hour and a half. And then the final event will be sometime this weekend, which hopefully we'll be able to get a poll in there to make sure we can get everybody, and if not everybody, at least almost everybody.
Yeah, no, I think you covered everything there. The biggest thing, so the time based on our notes was 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 PST is when we're doing that draft, and it's all like you mentioned, going to be text based. So it's like we're not going to have like a call. It's not going to be like a video, anything like that. It's just kind of like for anyone who watched the digitized draft for the digitized event that's been going on by Casey Kid. It's going to be very similar to that, where you'll be pinged and you'll enter the information just right in the chat.
Yep, and we did talk about having everybody fill out a 1 through 40 ranking, which would just be if somebody can't make it, if they get pulled away to an emergency or something, where we could auto draft anybody who doesn't want to attend or can't attend or chooses not to attend the final draft, and that way we can just kind of auto draft that out. So hopefully we don't end up needing that, but probably good to have it just in case.
Yeah, and I think what we were talking about was potentially either making a server or finding a link to where we're going to do all the drafting, and we'll make sure to post all the details for the participants in that thread as well. So you'll probably see a message coming out very soon with the location and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which we just probably got to touch base on Sam and make
Yeah,
sure we.
exactly.
Okay, I think that's a wrap then.
Yeah, so thank you everybody who tuned in, and good luck to everybody who's participating in this final event. And thank you, Scubatoad, for hosting this because I think the community's been very excited, and it's definitely got some really good bronze events going on leading up to this. And I think a lot of people have been messaging me and saying like, "Hey, I'm sorry I couldn't make any of the events this time, but this is a really cool idea." So you definitely got a lot of excitement out of the community, and I think everyone really appreciates what you guys are doing and hosting for us for it.
Well, I will say I am just as excited. I'm excited to watch the draft. I'm excited to watch the event take place. And this is something we did locally. We had a lot of fun with. And I'm just excited to see a bit of an up leveling here with the community and the folks that actually qualified through winning a bunch of events or just playing a bunch. So really excited to just see how it plays out. And honestly, I'm genuinely excited to see it all and genuinely excited to get it all sent out to everybody too, for everybody who's participated. We hopefully can get the OP kit in and just send everybody a package that they're really excited about. Even if they end up 8th place, if we can still end up getting them some alternate art stuff and whatnot, that hopefully everybody who qualified is excited about the decks that they draft and the final rewards package that they receive.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people are gonna love it. So thank you for doing this.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Sam, for hosting me tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for doing this and thanks for having me. All right, I'll end the stream here. So thanks, guys.